Hey free-to-play gang, welcome back to another video. So for today's video, we're going to take a look at the live broadcast sound wave impact on Purgatory difficulty. I will discuss the rules later on, but first, let's take a look at the team that I'm bringing into this. Now this is the team that I'm using. It's pretty free-to-play, so I have a Mona, a Jiangman, an Ira, Berenice, and a Fabrice. And here are their stats. Now do take note that during this event, all of your Espers will be fully skilled up, fully ascended, and fully leveled up. So honestly, I do not even use my Mona and my Ira anymore, but they are still going to work perfectly for me for this fight. So let's take a look at the rules and I'll explain a little bit more about what you are supposed to do using the team that I'm bringing in over here. Now they are introducing a brand new function called the energy node system over here, which I like a lot. So whenever one of your guest performers take a turn, you will increase your energy node count by 1. And the energy node goes up to a stack of at most 5 and you can use them to perform certain effects. And here are the hard rules. Enemy accuracy and resistance are significantly increased. And here are the Purgatory rules. Enemy attack and defense are significantly increased. Now let's take a look at who your guest performers are. So as you can see over here, there are a plethora of Espers to choose from. And like I said, whenever they take a turn, you will increase your energy node by 1. Now let's take a look at what you can use your energy nodes for. And the first and probably the most important is going to be Ascending Melody. So for the current turn, each hit by the currently acting unit deals extra true damage equal to 5% of the target's max HP, and it caps out at 3 stacks. So essentially, you can cast this 3 times in a single turn, and you will see that in just a bit. Now the second skill is Descending Melody. Dispels 1 buff from an enemy and inflicts sleep for 1 turn. If the enemy is already afflicted with sleep, reduces their speed by 5% and resistance by 8%. This is garbage. And the third skill, which is quite useful, is Harmony. Dispels all debuffs from all allies and restores 30% of their max HP. And if their max HP is full, you increase their AP by 30%. Now do take note that your HP has to be full before using this skill, so you can't heal yourself and then give yourself an AP push. So from this team alone, we have 3 guest performers. We have Ira, we have Berenice, we have Fabrice. So what happens is that when they all 3 take their turn, I'm going to have 3 stack of the energy node. Now because our Mona has 4 hits on her third skill, she's going to deal a lot of damage with 3 stacks of the energy nodes. So before I show you the rest of the run, I need to explain something to you so that you do not ask me the same question down in the comments below. Now the turn order for this team is exceptionally important. The first is going to be Berenice, and the second is going to be Jiangman, the third is going to be Ira, Fabrice, and finally Mona, who does not need speed at all. But as you can see over here, my team is moving before the enemy's team. But do take note that the Una's passive will give him more speed as your teammates take their turns. So it is very important that you have a base speed of about 205. And it is incredibly important that you use an Ira here because her third skill reduces the AP and the speed of the Unas. And this is where RNG comes to play. So if you fail to land your AP reduction or your speed debuff on the Unas, you will need to repeat this process again and again and again until you get it. Now the reason why Ira is slower than Jiangman is so that Ira's third skill will actually reduce the Nether Bloom counter by 1. But you do not necessarily need to use Jiangman, you can use Pritzker as well. The cooldown reset works a lot, same goes for Bonnie. So Berenice is going to start first. She's just pretty much just a support, that's about it. You don't necessarily need to use her, you can use a Clara, you can use an Ahmed, it works the same. So here we go, AP reduction, speed down, fantastic. And now we use Fabrice's second skill into Mona, that gives her an attack buff and gives her turn immediately. And here's where the magic happens. We're going to use the first skill 3 times and load it into Lunar Hail. And that's going to deal a lot of damage. And because of that, we now have both of the Cecilia's silenced, which means that they cannot use their third skill, which is a big annoyance. So from here on, it's pretty ad hoc. What you will need to do is to charge up more of your energy nodes by letting your guest performers take more turns. And then you load it into your second skill of your Mona, which does a lot of more damage. So just try to observe what I'm doing here and try to pick up on the kind of tactics that I'm using to try to make sure that I'm dealing enough damage and I'm making sure that, you know, the Espers that need to die, dies. It's really all in the details, but it's a little bit hard for me to describe as well. But to keep things simple, what I'm trying to do is to let my Mona take as many turns as she can because she's going to abuse the first energy node skill to deal as much damage as we can from her second and third skills. And we are definitely going to try to protect her as much as we can using our Fabrice second and his third skill as well. Anything goes, right? So here we go, we charge up her second skill and pop, everyone else dies. Now obviously the Cecilias, when they die, they are going to revive all the enemy Espers and silencing them is not going to work. So we need to be very careful over here. We need to make sure that we either pop both of them at the same time or maybe just like one at a time, that's also fine. But they are going to revive everyone else, which is very important that Mona takes more turns so that she charges up her second and third skill again, and this is the way that I prefer to clear this stage. Now do take note that yes, we are not using defense breakers, and we are not desperately relying on attack buffs as well, and that's because one of the difficulty in this floor is that their defense is extremely high. So we are not actually dealing damage because of our attack power, we are dealing damage because of the first energy node skill. And here I made a mistake by using it thinking that the true damage is going to bypass shield. Obviously it's not going to do so. So essentially I wasted 3 of my energy nodes, but that's still fine because we are more than able to replenish our energy nodes because my 3 guest performers are faster than Mona. Now take a look at this. This is extremely clutch. The first Cecilia died and silenced the revived Cecilia. So this was extremely important if you do not have cooldown reset. If not, when the Cecilia moves, that's it. She's just going to heal everyone up again and you're not going to have a good time. So don't be afraid to use your third energy node skill to give yourselves a little bit of a healing, because even for me, I do feel like sometimes it might be quite important. So over here, because my allies are slightly low on HP, I do not want to risk it, so I'm gonna use Harmony to heal myself up a little bit and put me on track again. So now all that's really left is for me to charge up my energy nodes once again and then let my Mona take a turn. And when she does take a turn, I am just going to repeat the same strategy, buff up my Mona's attack with the first energy node skill, and then drop an AoE attack, and that's about it. So over here, we definitely have it in the bag, and if you have any other comments or suggestions or any other way that you approach this, then do let me know down in the comments below, because this took me quite a little bit of time to think it through and to, plan something that actually works so well as it does over here. So leave a comment below what you feel about this event. I personally find it very interesting and very enjoyable as well, and it gives a new spin on the difficulty of the game. Now if you found this video helpful, don't forget to leave a thumbs up, it really helps the channel, and subscribe for more Dislyte content. Now with that said, this has been Daddy Free to Play, and as always I will see you in the next video.